What's up, V-dubs? I finally got home from work early. I guess you'd call it early because I have been working late hours this week. Put in well over 65 hours and hadn't been able to get home and do anything because some nights it's midnight before I get home. And I have got bees, as y'all probably seen us post and Andrew has talked about. We have had swarm after swarm after swarm, and I am out of equipment, have been out of equipment. I've actually had to go borrow some frames from a guy I go to church with. I finally got my Man Lake order in. I'd put it in about a week ago, and they are just like everybody else, just crazy covered up with orders. And it's time to go swap some frames out because we have just been finagling things together. Even had to have Lane throw in some super frames yesterday. If you don't know what they are, they're smaller than a deep brood frame. Had to have him throw them in there to catch another swarm. So just had to use what we could find rather than just letting the bees go. So let's go out there and let's swap these over and see what all we've caught. I need to hurry because there is a storm brewing. I do know the bees do not like it in this kind of weather. They are going to be grouchy. I already know that ahead of time, but I've got to get this done and I am running out of time. We've got like 10 days of rain coming, and it's just going to be hit and miss between catching a spot where, like right now, it's not raining, but it's still going to be really sticky and muggy outside. I'm going to hurry up and try to get at least this done, and I've also got to get a queen release that I'd caught in another swarm. I caught her fixing to leave, so I caged her up, put her back in the hive, and I'm about ready to release her. So let's go. All right, as we've told you in other videos, these fruit trees right here are just like a bee magnet. Our hives are right there. It seems like they always swarm over to either this tree or either of these two trees. We have caught swarm after swarm this year. I do know that splitting my hives would prevent this swarming, but timetables, the weather like it's been, everything that we have going, I've only been able to go through my bees one time. So we've just kind of let them swarm. Lane's been keeping a really good eye on them. He has caught a lot of swarms for me this year, and he has been interested in getting into queen rearing. So I'm going to give him this swarm. This is the last swarm we caught. This is the one that's got the honey super frames in it, and we don't need to leave them in there. They'll start building cross comb and everything like that off the bottom of them. So I ain't even got no smoke, and ooh, it's getting close. I may get lit up.
What, with your jeans?
Yeah, everything.
That wouldn't be fun.
We're just gonna put these brand new frames. These are just the single wax frames from Man Lake. We really need to roll another layer on there, but time constraints, we gotta make this work. There she is, see her?
With the paint, yeah.
So, yep, so that's one of my marked queens right there. I'm gonna leave that just like that for now. Oh, they've already got them stuck. See, there's what they've already built in what, 2 days?
A day. This was yesterday.
All right, as you can see, it started raining. We was right in the middle of it and it started sprinkling. I shook them. We found her. That was a good thing. We shook her off in there. Hopefully she'll stay in there. She will through this rain anyway, but I plan tomorrow. It's not supposed to rain. We'll get back out there, so we'll see you tomorrow. All right, now the rain's cleared. We ended up getting the bees in there. We had to really rush because it started sprinkling as we were doing it. But I told Lane, we've caught several swarms right here on these trees, but a couple of them were really big, and we ended up putting them in a full-size brood box, and they left. So I was telling Lane, this one here, we've seen the marked queen, we know that. One way that I think we could keep her in here, or keep them in here from swarming again, is make sure we keep her in here. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna lift this whole brood box up and put a queen excluder on the bottom of it and make sure she stays up on the frames. But first we need to find her again.
What do I
Alright,
need to do?
here's this. You need to hold that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift this up. I seen her on the bottom running around, so we're gonna pick this up and see if we can see her. We don't see her now, so she's on a frame. Put it down there. You don't see her, right?
I did.
I didn't either.
There's a lot on that frame.
There she is, see her.
Yeah, I see her. Got it.
Alright, while we're out here, we're going to go ahead and run through all these nucs and make sure we can find queens. Alright, one thing you want to do when you're putting these frames in here is you never want to leave a big gap like this. They will cross comb that, and that turns into a mess real quick. Now we gotta scrape all that off. Not knowing who's doing that. No, I'm just kidding. He's doing a good job. There she is.
You see her?
Alright, we found her in there. She is a new queen. So we went with this year's color, which is blue. I may end up selling that swarm. So this swarm right here is this right here is a box that me and Lane threw together really quick. We found these frames here. I better give them a little smoke first. We found these frames and rolled some fresh wax on them. So these are brand new. Let's see how much work they've done in, what, 4 days?
I've lost count.
Maybe 5, maybe close to a week. Yeah, they ain't done much on that one. No queen. Oh wow, they pulled some on this one. Can't see her. She's good enough. Put her back in there.
Good enough?
Yeah, I think I can find her.
You sure?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at all the ants.
Oh.
That ain't good.
Nope.
Wow, they filled this thing up quick.
So we found and marked the queen in the last one. Now we're going to move on to this one.
And that hive is either going to be sold pretty quick, or they're going to have to get put in a deep brood box, a 10 frame box, because they are full.
They're already capping honey.
But I've got to check my permit to see if I'm still inspected. So to be able to sell, you have to be inspected. And if I'm not, I can call him real quick and get that done. Oh well, pretty full too. We are getting wore out. Me and Lane have went through pretty much all these hives. We still like one big one to go through down there. Most of my hives, it look like they've swarmed, but we've been able to find most of the queens. I've got a couple of them. I think it was, yeah, it was this one right here that we're pretty sure swarmed while we were out here working. They started boiling out and went over and lit in a tree. We ended up catching them. We can't find a queen in here, but we found a bunch of queen cells. We actually found queen cells in a couple of different hives. I'm gonna show you right here what we done with them. This right here is called a hair roller queen cage. You got a hole in the bottom, or a door for the bottom. This is actually made for when you graft your queens. You leave this graft on there, or put this on a grafting frame. They'll draw out a queen cell, and then you just slide that over it. She'll hatch out and come in here. What I ended up doing, a lot of them, I was able to cut the queen cells out successfully, and we just very gently pushed them up on this, put them in here. It's an experiment. So what that does is, if a virgin queen hatches out, she's down in here and can't go anywhere. We're gonna see what kind of success we get out of that. All of these are full of honey. They are slam packed full of honey, and that's why they're swarming. They're out of room. With the busy schedule I've been working here lately, we have not had time to harvest any honey, but Memorial Day's coming up Monday, which would have probably already happened. But anyway, Monday, Memorial Day, we're planning to sling 5 honey supers worth of honey. So all these right here are swarms we've caught out of these fruit trees. We're trying to line them up and get them over here on hive stands. We've still got a lot more work to do fixing up the bee yard here. All right, this box right here is the only one that I've got that's got 2 brood boxes on it, and it does not have a queen excluder. So this one may not have swarmed yet, or it just may be slam packed full of honey. We are fixing to see. If you'll look right down in here, Lane will zoom right up in from this side. All that white down in there, that is capped honey. So what they normally do is they store their honey on the outsides, and then they lay their eggs on the inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this one out, give us some working room. Oh me, that's heavy.
Full of honey.
Look at all that glycerine nectar. That is nectar right now, and when they cap it, that's when it becomes honey. Both sides, very heavy. Very pretty. Very pretty. Look at that side of capped honey. Alright. Oh yeah, now we're getting more into the brood center. So all of this right here is all capped brood. This is all honey storage for them. I accidentally raked some off the side. Worker bees, this right here, if I can grab him. Come here. This is a drone, big old drone. That's the male bee. Quite a few drones in here.
And she could be in either of the boxes.
Yep, well, that right there looks like a queen cell. So they may have swarmed too, as full as they are. Yep, there's another queen cell, actually a couple of them.
Quite a few.
Right there, right there.
One up there is an open one.
Where?
Right here.
Oh yeah, could have been one there. These are cap queen cells. There's another one on the bottom. Oh, look at all that brood. Man, they've got a lot of food in there for sure. Alright, this is a queen we just found in there. Boy, she's dark, but look at her wings. Her wings kind of look a little chewed on or something. Like that one right there. But I got her marked, and we're going to release her back in there. She was actually in the bottom, on the screen bottom board, and they was balled up on her. One of them was acting like it was trying to sting her, so we're going to see how they act. Let's watch. Alright, I'm not sure exactly how much we actually got on film because we have been very busy today. We're hot, tired. Most all of the hives look good. We have found several new queens. Some of them, for some reason today, we found a couple of hives that have just actually been attacking the queens in there. I guess they're wanting to replace them, or virgin queens have, there's maybe more than one in that hive. So we've caged them up and going to keep them just in case. But out of all 20 of our working hives here, everything here looks good. We've also got 5 or 6 mating nucs that we are also raising new queens for. So thank y'all for hanging out with us in the bee yard. We'll catch you later. God bless.